Welcome to day one of the 7-day Values Compass Challenge. Today I'm going to walk you through our first value, which is core value number 1. What value you end up with will depend on exactly how you answer these 5 questions that I've laid out. I'm going to go through the theory and the questions first, and then I'll give you a personal example so that you can connect the two. And then you can apply it to yourself. To figure out your first core value, we're going to focus on the concept known as flow. Flow is a state of ease where there's an absence of difficulty and the mind is really clear and we're easily able to focus on what it is that we can do. So the first question we want to ask ourselves is, what is a time in our past or maybe even in our present where we have felt in flow? So to give you an example from my own life, when I first did this, one of the first memories that came up for me was a time where I was at Oxford University for my master's program, and I was mingling and socializing with all these other new people that just came to the university like myself. That is the time that I picked. You pick a time that works for you. So once we have that memory or that time, we want to move on to the second question, which is, what are we experiencing in our body? I remember feeling energetic and alive, and I remember just kind of like my heart racing, but not in an anxiety-inducing way, more like excitement. So for me, I was experiencing a lot of energy, and it was especially in my heart and in my hands and in even my feet and my legs. So now for question number 3, can I think of other times connected to that same feeling? We're anchoring it to the feeling because feelings take us back to other memories, okay? And this is a positive memory, so we're going to go with it. So when else do I remember feeling alive? I remember feeling alive when I first went to my boarding school and I was meeting new people for the first time. And then I went back to all these other times in my business where I was meeting new people for the first time. So we can see a very common theme. All of this socializing and meeting big groups of people for the first time is something that evokes aliveness or excitement within me. Now that takes us very nicely to question number 4, which is, can you name the quality of the experience in your body? What does it bring to you? I already said aliveness and excitement. Now I spent a lot of time doing this work, so I know that the final word that I settled on is aliveness. That is one of my values, and that 100% was replicated in all of these times. However, the word that you choose at the beginning doesn't have to be the word that you stick with. Write out a few of them. See what lands. This is something that you will need to play with as time goes on. We're not doing the playing today, but I'm just letting you know so that you're not like, oh my God, what if it's this? Or what if it's this? It's fine. Go with the one that feels right now and that feels right, proportionate to the experience in your body. And then lastly, step number 5 is check that it is an internal value. Now, what do I mean by this? I'll go into more detail in another video. But when I say an internal value, I mean what a lot of psychologists call an intrinsic value. It is something that is internal to you, which is why we went with the experience in your body. It's something that you feel, not something that exists outside in the world. So yes, these certain social settings triggered that feeling for me, but it's the feeling that we're working with and anchoring, not the settings themselves. And I'll talk about why we do that at a later stage, but for now you're just going to have to trust me. So an internal value or an intrinsic value is something that we experience within us, not something that is outside of us. So if you answered these questions and you named the quality family or career or partying, those are all external things. They're not intrinsic. And so we're not going to use those words. They may be the settings, but they are not the experience that you're feeling in your body. This does take some getting used to, especially when we're connecting them to the feelings in our body, but just go along with the process, see what you come up with for now. And if you want to join the full challenge, make sure to click that link in the description because I'll give you all of the resources in one place at the end of the challenge. So to make sure that you catch that, click the link in the description box. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.